welcome to the Nasty Labs podcast, legally the best podcast. We're part of the Tokyo Beat Network, and we're the podcast from game studio Chuhai Labs. We talk about games, game dev, Japan, and whatever else comes up. As always, we're your hosts, Kinsey and Mark, so open yourself up a Chuhai or Red Bull, and let's go!
Kinsey, Bork, how the hell are you? It has been what seems like months, moons, years since we've spoken on this podcast in our office, which we sit next to each other every single day at work. But we haven't been right here in this place in a long time. How are you? What's new with your life?
Doing fantastic. So much has happened since our last episode. Bitsummit happened, but we'll come back to that.
No, we won't.
And then
What else has happened?
Gion Matsuri happened.
Yeah.
In Kyoto.
Will
one
we
of the
come back to that?
Nope, we're going to talk about it right now.
Oh, okay. Why don't you explain what a Matsuri is, and why don't you explain what Gion is, and what is that shit?
A Matsuri is basically a festival. And, like, a lot of towns and cities in Japan have them for various things, be it, like, a summer fireworks festival.
So it's like Lollapalooza.
It's like Lollapalooza.
Is that what you're saying? Like, the whole town's just getting naked and, like, throwing down. Now, like what can you expect to see at Gion Matsuri?
You can expect to see the really big floats called hoko, which are normally, like, pulled because they're on big wheels. And they also have the mikoshi, which are the carry shrines. So a lot of parades. And a lot of festivals in Japan also have a ton of, like, yatai, which is, like, the food stalls. Mm-hmm. Like, similar to a lot of festivals, like, in the U.S. or wherever that have, like, food trucks.
Of course.
Same idea. So food stalls, and you can get, like, festival food. They always have, like, games. Like, for kids, they always have, like, the fish pool game. And
rigged
like
games where you don't win anything.
The, like, pop gun game.
I mean,
they got all of those.
It's just it's a Japanese carnival, you know?
Yeah,
like, it's
basically.
It's except you get dressed up, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of people wearing yukata.
Did you wear a yukata this year?
I did not.
Did you wear a jinbei this year?
Nope. It was the same. Most of the market time where, like, there's actually the yatai and everything on the street was the same weekend as Bitsummit. So I came directly from Bitsummit to the festival and basically had dinner there with some friends. And, like, I don't know, I do really like festival food in Japan because it's always like, you know, I don't think I told you.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Festival food. I was like, okay, I'm going to get some gyoza. And there were these gyoza that had, like, some kanji that I didn't really recognize in the beginning.
Poison.
But so I had this gyoza, and I know that you guys have probably known this, but this was a new thing for me.
Hit it.
Instead of, like, the gyoza wrapper, it had chicken skin.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, like, so greasy and so amazing. I was like, it's like, do you know when you take a bite of something and your eyes get big and you're like,
yeah,
delicious.
So for anybody that doesn't know what a gyoza is, it's
basically like a dumpling. Like, it's normally like minced pork, maybe some veggies, like wrapped up in like a giant noodle casing.
Noodle casing.
It's kind of like noodle.
Yeah, I guess it is pasta, sorta. Yeah. I mean, it's a dough. It's a dough anyway. Yeah. So it can be fried, it can be boiled, steamed. You see them in movies when they lift up the wooden thing and there's a whole bunch of shit steamed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had the chicken one, which is chicken skin.
Yeah.
And how was it?
It was amazing.
Did it, like, do you want to go to the restaurant that's down the street that sells it?
Yes, I do. There's a restaurant down the street that sells them?
Yes.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like it is a fantastic little bite though. Yeah, all the foods at the Matsuris are like they're Japanese foods you've had before. But usually they have, like, something slightly different. That way they can catch your attention. That way it can be like, oh, go get this chicken skin thing. Or, oh, get this duck on a stick with blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. That maybe is a little bit different than you're used to with Japanese food. I also love Matsuri food. It's awesome.
It's delicious.
It's super fun. I always love to get, like, a giant crab on a stick or something like that. That's my thing. Or, like, a giant, huge steamed oyster. Oh, my God. They're, like, gross and delicious. I love those. They're like $20 and they're like the biggest oyster and they're kind of like disgusting.
I like usually at the Matsuri there's like a lot of booths that are like the steak on a stick.
Yeah.
But normally they're not great. But there's like that premium steak booth.
Sure.
Oh, it's good. It's good. And it's just basically all these different kinds of Japanese food, but made portable. Like there was like a okonomiyaki adjacent, but it was on a stick.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
it was fun though. I went to the parade as well. I saw the like Hoko polling, the big float polling.
Right. What was
and,
your favorite
like,
one? Was it like, was there any monster truck themed? Hoko?
Monster
Yeah.
truck. I did go to the last night parade where they have the Mikoshi, which is like the carrying
Right.
shrine, and like that one's kind of cool because there's like 3 or 4 groups, and all the groups are like there's a Nishiki Market group where it's all the people who work at Nishiki
Sure.
Market, which is cool, and like, but in that parade right before the like Mikoshi walked by, there was like this little kid riding a horse.
Yeah.
And like their like kimono was so cute. The kid looked a little miserable because
Sure.
it's like 500 million degrees
Yeah.
outside. But the horse was really pretty.
Yeah, and they're going to take that horse and eat it at the end of the night.
No, they're not.
Yeah, as far as I
No,
know.
that's their best friend. But Gion Matsuri was great. Did
Yeah.
you do any of it?
No, not at all this year. No, I mean, not because I don't like it.
Busy
I mean,
time.
It is busy when we're working, and which is a real shame that you would have the Japan's greatest game event during
The biggest Matsuri.
the biggest Matsuri
Yeah.
in town. So that's a bit of a shame. That was a very large sneeze.
Excuse me.
However, I did go up into several of the hoko that are around our neighborhood because as they build these giant, enormous things, they also let people come up and look at them. And,
Yeah.
they let people pull them. It's kind of weird, and it is cute. It's really, really cute.
Yeah. I had a great time. I do wish I could have gone to more of the things, but was just way too busy with Bitsummit.
I think
but
you
I got to
saw
see a
it
little
though.
bit. Yeah.
I mean, there's not much more than awesome parade, awesome hoko, and food.
Yeah.
It's not really much more.
I mean, I guess I checked all those boxes.
Yeah, and I guess you would have just seen a lot more stalls.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah. What else have you been up to?
Me, I've been watching movies. I've been playing
Yeah.
video games because we're a video game company and a video game podcast about Japan, video games, Japan, and other things. Let's see. I've gone to the beach dozens of times.
Nice.
Because the Kobe Suma Beach is now fully up and operational. If you're coming to Japan, don't go there because that's where I go. No. But it's Suma Beach is like dirty, but it's also like there's dirty people, and I like that.
It's a beach-ass beach.
I mean, it's a beach, but
Yeah.
it's the most convenient. To me, it's the most convenient because you get right off the damn train, and there's like 100 restaurants, and you're just on the beach. And if you have tattoos, you go sit with the tattoo people because you're not allowed to sit anywhere else. You'll get yelled at immediately. But last time I was there, there's a bunch of Portuguese, or sorry, not Portuguese. They're a bunch of Brazilian dudes, and they were all flying kites and drinking and dancing and macking on absolutely every single girl that walked by. And I think they had some pretty good results, to be honest. These guys were in their late 50s, and they were doing great with those young girls.
Late 50s?
And they were pulling because they were dancing like crazy, flying kites, drinking. They would occasionally like put the kite on their toe and like dance while like this was a sight to behold.
Sounds like a party.
Yeah, and I'm going again this weekend because I can't stop going to the beach. If I lived on the beach, I would never work again. That doesn't make sense. But like I see why there are beach bums. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see why Giles moved to Ishigaki.
Yeah. So our boss moved to the second furthest island from Japan, and he lives on the damn beach. He lives there 90% of the month, and then he comes back and says hello to us for about a week.
I get it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I went to Suma Beach once, but I also went to like the river that's up in the mountains by
Sure.
Rashiyama, and like I hadn't been there before,
Yeah.
and it was really cool because it was like way naturey.
Sure.
And I have a thing that I'm doing right now that I
Wow.
really want to see a snake.
That's a thing?
I want to see a snake in Japan
Have
because
you
like
never seen a snake in your life?
no, I've seen snakes in my life, but I've
Okay.
never seen one in Japan. Because, like, I've seen people post, like, a heron eating a snake by the river,
Right.
like, by the Kamogawa, or, like, I saw a video of one just going across the sidewalk, and I'm like, how come I never see any snakes? I might have already told the story on the podcast, but I went to this, like, kind of broken down shrine.
Yes.
And, like, there was a sign next to it, and it said, watch out for snakes. And I was like, this is my time. No snakes. I walked through that whole park. No snakes.
Are you actively looking for snakes?
Yeah.
And
Like, I'll turn stuff over
you're,
or,
like,
like,
lifting
look
up
in
a rock,
cracks.
you're-
Yeah, I'm going to find one.
What now? When you find this, now help me out, listeners. I think you're probably on my side of this. When you find a snake, what are you gonna do with the snake? Say hello to the snake.
Yeah, Yeah.
Have we thought this through?
No, because I do need to do a little bit of research because
Sure.
I need to know which snake I can pet and which snake I cannot pet.
Pet. You want to pet a snake? You want to say hello, friend?
Like, I don't want to choose wrong and, pet the wrong danger noodle. So
I feel like by choosing any of them, they don't want to be your friend. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Maybe they're like, yo, it's Kinsey. I've been it was my thing to find a Kinsey, and here she is. I'm waiting under every rock in hopes that she would lift it up. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
And when I was up in Arashiyama, I was there with Zach, the engineering manager here at Chuhai Labs, and he was like, last time I was here, I saw a snake. And I was like, it's my time.
How are you 37?
I like seeing animals in nature, and snake is just the one that's on the list right now. There was a million frogs, though, so I did do some frog catching.
Did you catch a frog?
Yeah.
Did you throw it?
I didn't throw it.
It sounds like a Kinsey thing.
And I petted him.
You pet a wild frog who does not want to be
Yeah.
pet, but he was like, "Thank you, Kinsey."
My friend tried to kiss it. She was like, maybe you'll get a prince.
Right. How did she fail at kissing it?
Well, okay, to begin with, these are very small frogs. They're like dime-sized frogs.
Yeah.
Very small, like freshly hatched frogs.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you get close to it, it just jumps away.
Right.
It'll go on a suicide mission off your arm into the rocks.
So you killed several frogs in this journey.
Frogs are resilient. They were okay.
You scared the living shit out of many frogs.
There was like 45 frogs. Like,
and you
there
had
was a lot of frogs at this beach.
all right.
Like at first I didn't notice them because anytime you took a step close to the water, you'd see all these little things move.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, it's bugs.
Right.
But then I looked close and it was frogs. And then that's what I did for most of the time was look at frogs. I like finding animals in the wild.
Who doesn't like seeing animals?
I like animals.
Everyone likes animals.
Ooh, speaking of animals, did
Okay.
you see that video that just went viral?
Nope.
Like, it was in Nara, and it was when we had that big rainstorm, like, a week ago or whatever. And, like, these people were like, we found cover for, like, the big rainstorm that, like, happened. And then they, like, panned, and it was all the, like, tourists under this, like, overhang, but also all the deer. There was
Right.
like 50 deer under this like overhang.
The
with
deer
all the
are
people.
intelligent, is what. Like,
Yeah.
That's what they're like. Yo, this is our spot. We go here every single
Yeah.
time. Why are you here?
And they so don't care about people at this point.
No, no, they don't care if you pet them. They don't care
No.
if you give them food. They want your food, but they don't care.
Yeah, they might bite you though, but they also are sometimes very aggressive. They're like, "Where's your cracker? Where's those crackers?"
Sure, they
And
don't.
they're like-
They're not friendly. Like, just like any like kangaroo park, like they literally don't care. Just
Yeah.
give me food and leave me alone.
Yeah. So if you go to Nara, the deer are fun, but watch out. They're jerks. So we have a great show lined up for you. Starting, of course, with whatever we talk about, what we're playing. Then we'll slide right into the main topic and the news, and then we'll answer your questions from Discord.
Today's show is brought to you by EPOS Gaming Audio with a comprehensive lineup of wired, I was about to say weird, and wireless headsets, gaming amplifiers, microphones, and webcams for those naughty bits. EPOS has everything you need to experience the power of audio.
Like their H6 Pro lineup, which features two versions,
One,
an
two.
open or a closed headset. The closed headset allows you to tap into the exponentially detailed audio
shit.
and seals out the ambient noise, while the open version delivers a natural, high-fidelity audio with an incredible soundstage.
I like that you said exponential, and you didn't mean that. Both headsets include a magnetic detachable microphone. You can take it off. It's kind of
It's
the
kinda
shit.
great, yeah.
And a sleek design that has no wild RGB. Okay, it doesn't. No RGB bullshit. It's not bright. That's a good thing. I don't like that. That's dorky
It's
as hell.
just as good design.
Just good design. Listeners can save by visiting www.eposaudio.com/gaming and entering the code EPOSFriend15 EPOSFriend15 at checkout.
Get those headphones because they're amazing.
Exponentially.
And now it's time for What Up, where we'll talk about what we're playing. Mark Lentz, what are you playing?
Man, I'm playing games. It
Games?
Turns out. Yeah, I'm
Nice.
playing. Yeah.
Next segment. No.
Yeah, get the hell out of here. All right, so I am playing a freshly released, right off the docket, game called Double Dragon Gaiden. Okay, I think it got released last week, maybe.
Oh, nice.
I'm not exactly sure. So right off, but let me set the groundwork. I don't love Double Dragon. I don't care. I don't care about the series. I don't care about. I have like no love for. I have a lot of love for the genre of beat 'em ups, but not like any one game. Last week I saw our friend Mr. Knives, Kyle, play it on a live stream, and I noticed that it wasn't just a beat 'em up; it was a roguelike, and it was. And I noticed that it didn't play itself too seriously. So because the last game I played by them, I played the last Double Dragon Neon, which is a 3D game, and I played Double Dragon 4, even though I said I don't like the games. I do buy them. I give them a chance. Double Dragon 4 is just a remake of 1 or whatever. Anyway, this one is modern. It looks like Shredder's Revenge. Sort of.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's super cute. It's very, very cute. It's very, very playable. And I think modern beat 'em ups, I think there's a renaissance in modern beat 'em ups because I look at games like Shredder's Revenge, Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, and River City Girls. That's not my favorite of them.
Yeah.
Then there's Streets of Rage 4. They're all combining like little modern styles with the roguelike elements, and they're all letting you, as far as I know, you can choose your character, choose your stage you want to start at, etc. But they're not just press A, it works. Press B to jump or whatever.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Like there's actually some skill, and you can do a lot of juggling where you can actually be good at the game. Like it's not just enemies are difficult and you'll get cornered. It's especially exciting because when I played the first stage, which you got to pick where you went. When I played the first stage, it was really easy. It was like stupid easy. And I was kind of worried that, oh no, this game is going to be really, really easy. At the end of the stage, you get money and you can level up certain attributes. I'm liking this better than any other Double Dragon.
Yeah.
I go to the next stage. You get to choose again. But this time, before you got to choose the stage, it showed the difficulties increased.
Oh.
It showed, now you have a mini boss. And now you have now there are more enemies.
That's cool.
And then we played that one. And it was twice as hard, Then I played the third stage, and it said, now you have 2 mini bosses, and now there's this, and it was now I didn't beat the stage. Like, oh, okay.
Ooh, that ramps up fast.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Yeah,
it felt like they made it so they can onboard me really, really well. So I played that all on Steam, and then I went home and I don't have a PC at home, so I bought it on the Switch, and I played a different route. A different stage and with different characters, and it was the same thing. So I got to experience a different stage at a different difficulty, and I'm really loving this game. I'm really, really loving it. I think they did right by the series, and I think this direction that Shredder's Revenge and this are taking beat 'em ups actually could take the genre into the future, and not just because. I don't know if you played, Final Fight and all those, like back in the day. They were fun for a little bit.
Yeah.
But they do have like a boredom threshold where it's all right, how many times am I going to do this? How many times am I going to do this? And not just with seeing the same characters, but also I don't feel like I'm progressing besides pressing jump and attack.
Right.
And this gives me I can dash and jump and attack. I can jump and dash and attack. I can all these different combos that I can attack each enemy with because they all have a different a weak point.
Yeah.
So it's a great game. I'm really enjoying it. I've played across the 2 platforms probably 5 hours.
If you upgrade stuff, is that that's upgrading your character?
Yeah.
But does that character stay upgraded if you start over or lose and start over or anything?
I don't know. When you start the game, instead of you press the start button and then it sets you up with the UI right away, and it says, do you want to have 3 lives? Do you want to purchase lives? Do you want to have permadeath? And I think, I don't know. I think that means because there are several characters to choose from. I think that means if one character dies, you now have to use another character.
Oh, okay.
Sort of like Ninja Turtles 1 or something. I don't. Also, when you level up a character, you can also swap out between characters on the fly.
Oh, that's
which
cool.
was actually really neat. So, like, if one character's health is low, you swap them out, and that will regenerate the first character's health. But if you level up character A, you're not leveling up character B.
Right.
And you level it up by, like, the enemies drop cash, and at the end of the stage, you buy attributes. You're only allowed to buy 2 attributes per stage. I think that when you beat the game, this is just me guessing, because I haven't looked up any of it, I think that you can play the game again, and, like, because there are so many limitations on how you can level up your characters, and you're not allowed to replay the stages as is, so you can't, like, min-max. So I just have this sneaking suspicion that you do get to keep everything.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know, though. But the fact they include permadeath makes me think that they want you to build up a character until they die.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's cool. Sounds like you're really enjoying it, though.
I am really enjoying it because I really Shredder's Revenge was one of my favorite games of last year or whenever the hell that came out. I've been really liking beat 'em ups. I also played another beat 'em up, Toxic Crusaders by Retroware TV.
Yeah.
That doesn't quite have that feel. All these things that's a little more of the classic. That one is. I only played the demo because it's not out yet, but that one is a lot more of let's tell a funny story, and they put the priority on that. Whereas the Double Dragon, the priority is let's have a smooth, great feeling game, and it might be the best beat 'em up I've ever played.
Dang.
And I love
strong words, yeah.
But to me, I thought Shredder's Revenge was like, oh, this is it. We got there finally, and I think this is better.
That's awesome. I feel like we're like in a beat 'em ups renaissance. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
No, I mean, because it started with Streets of Rage 4, which I didn't care for that one as much. That one didn't hit me. I know a lot of people do like it. It was just too hard. But for whatever reason, Double Dragon Gaiden, get it? It has my stamp of approval. It gets 8 Kinseys out of 10.
Dang, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's a lot of
no,
Kinseys.
I like it. I liked. I don't like it as much as Shredder's Revenge, simply because I like the IP and yeah. So it's hard not to. The storytelling in that game is just a little funnier, and I don't know who Billy and Jimmy are. And I'm not trying to say it's nostalgia per se, but I am trying to say the look of that game is better. It's just cuter.
Yeah.
However, the gameplay is leaps and bounds.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. 8 out of 10. Kinsey,
nice.
What the hell are you playing, Kinsey Burke?
I'm playing, or actually, I beat it.
Oh, shit.
I'm not playing
Legend
it anymore.
of Zelda, Tears of the Wild.
I'm playing Oxenfree 2.
Okay.
Because it came out a few weeks ago. Yeah, a few weeks ago. And so I loved Oxenfree 1. It is a kind of light horror adventure, like puzzly conversation-driven game. And it's done really well. The first game is set basically all these teenagers on Edward's Island find weird shit and weird things start happening. This is after those events, and I kind of like it too because the first one is all from teenager perspective,
Right.
And this one it starts out with like 2 30-somethings who got a new job doing like an environmental survey on this island.
That could have been you.
That could have been me.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be close to Edward's Island, where the first game takes place. And
where's Edward's Island?
I don't think it's real. I think it's fake Pacific Northwest.
Got it.
Yeah. But so in this one, it's really cool because it is kind of that like horror. Horror, I think, is too strong.
Okay.
The first one was scarier, but almost like Twin Peaksy, more like real life with weird shit coming through.
Eerie shit.
Yeah. Like in the first game, you had the radio, and that's how you could kind of communicate with these, like, I guess, interdimensional ghosts.
Okay.
And this one, you have the radio again, and you can still communicate that way occasionally. But they added a new thing, which I thought was good. They added the radio. like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The first radio is like a real radio with stations, and you can like tune to different
Got it.
stations. And then the new thing is a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
And that one's cool because I didn't even realize it at first, but there's a lot of like optional storylines there where you can switch different channels and talk to different characters.
Yeah.
And so those ones you can do like little side quests. Not all of them you have to talk to. You might save their lives. Like all these things. Like it's one of those conversation-driven games that like you can befriend the antagonist, you cannot befriend the antagonist. Like there's at least 3 endings, and I believe that depending on how you talk to people, those 3 endings have different variations.
Right.
So I guess the basics of it, it's very confusing. Apologies.
What kind of game is it?
It's like a walking around adventure game.
Like a side scroll?
Yeah,
or-
it's 2D.
2D.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. I guess kind of 2.5D, but whatever. But it's really beautiful art. It's like kind of watercolor-esque.
Right.
And so, okay. Premise.
Okay.
You start this new job where you are doing environmental survey on this island, and you're working the overnight shift where you need to place like sensors in different places.
Yes.
And while you're doing this, you're learning a lot about like the main character's past and the person that you're the working with past as well.
Okay.
Because if I remember correctly, it's like you're both 30 somethings, but you ran in the same circles when you were like high school, and you haven't seen each other since then.
Right.
So
They
it's
used to smoke weed together when they were 16, and then they went off and did cool stuff, and now they're back for some reason.
So it's more like introspective, like learning about the character, and like instead of from the first game where it's like teenagers going through teenager struggles, it's like millennials going through millennial struggles.
Right.
And so the characters, at least at my age, like they're really relatable. And so that was really fun to go through. And the conversation style that they have, it's like a character will talk to you, and then your character will have 3 speech bubbles over their head.
Yeah.
And you're timed to figure out like how fast you want to respond,
Okay.
or you can not respond at all.
Right. The timer runs out, and that's
Yeah.
a response.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the conversation can go a bunch of different ways. The main character, Riley, is great. I like her a lot. And then the guy who's with her, who I don't remember his name, he's like super like meek and rambly. So your relationship with him can go anywhere from like you can let him ramble and let him talk and let him all these things, or you can like cut him off.
I like that.
And
I
just
like cutting
be like,
off people.
nah, we're not doing this conversation.
Yeah.
But the antagonist is basically this group of teens that are in this like religious cult.
Go on.
And they're basically trying to open up the dimension from the first game. And you're trying to figure out why and trying to stop them because, like, it was not good. Those are not good ghosts.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I wish it was a little bit scarier because the first one was like actually had sort of jump scares where you're like, oh shit,
Right.
shit's happening. But I still really enjoyed it. I kind of want to do another playthrough to try to get some of the other endings because when I was first playing it, I don't know why I wasn't really thinking about what ending I wanted. I was just playing.
Right.
And like I sort of befriended the antagonist. I like one of the people in the group, but not the main girl in the group. So I was like, how would the story have played out differently if she would have been my friend versus
Ooh,
like
you would have been a cult
being,
member.
being the older person who she's like, oh, shut up, you're old.
Shut up, dork.
Yeah,
Well, that sounds like a great game for Kinsey.
yeah.
I
really enjoyed
So
it.
you're gonna go back and play it on the Nintendo PC. What are you gonna play?
Oh, so I actually played it. This is the first time I've ever played a game on Netflix.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, because I was gonna buy Oxenfree 2 anyways, but then I found out it was free on Netflix, and I have Netflix, so I was like, oh, this is a good chance to try it.
Okay.
So I have a few complaints. Okay, number 1, you can't play Netflix games like on the Netflix app on like your PlayStation or your Xbox.
Okay.
It's very much you can only do it on the mobile apps.
Oh, that makes sense.
It makes sense. So then it's like not being a TV console; it's an on the go
It's
thing.
downloading.
Yeah. So, and then I was like, no, big brain. I'm gonna mirror my screen to my Chromecast,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna attach a controller to my phone to like basically just play on the TV, right?
Sure.
So that was my big brain plan. But then I realized the game is touchscreen only. They don't let you use a controller. Like my controller will pair and I can push pause and go through the menus.
Right.
but I can't actually do anything else because
Well, it sounds like they're trying to not have you do that.
Yeah, exactly. But instead, I played with it on the TV because my phone is not giant. And
Right.
so, like, there was all these collectible letters that added, like, additional lore, like, from one of the characters from the first game, and it was really cool. But I couldn't read any of them. Like, it was so small. So I put it up on my TV, and I was like, fuck, it's even small here.
Right.
Like, it wasn't super conducive to such a small screen. But then I ended up doing it anyways, just having it up the whole time I played on my TV.
Right.
Because I was using the speakers from the TV versus my phone.
Cool. So
Also, then Tony could watch me play. I don't think he cared. But
yeah. I'm like, watch you play. Good Lord.
so
Yeah.
it was interesting playing on Netflix. I had never done that before.
How many hours of a gameplay did you have?
I played for about 6 hours, and I beat it in one sitting. I saw other people saying if they did all the side quests, it could be like a maximum of 8 hours. But I think if you wanted to play through it again, it would be a lot shorter.
Sure.
But I like kind of games like that. That I can play in one sitting, even if that one sitting's kind of long, but
Sure.
6 hours, and it's like a complete package story. I like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like beat 'em ups and these. That's why I like first person shooters. There's not a lot. I mean, boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're good. You
Yeah.
know, like I like to get through it as quickly as possible. I think we all have gnat brains because of social media. So these kinds of things work well for us.
Yeah. But Oxenfree 2, highly recommend it. If you have Netflix, which I'm assuming actually a lot of the people listening do, it's free. And if you want to try playing on Netflix, try it.
Booyah.
Or buy it on Switch.
Whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, it is 8 Kinseys out of 10.
Wow.
It's really good. Well,
Okay.
okay. 7 Kinseys out of 10. Original Oxenfree, I think, is 8. I
Okay.
think the first one's better.
I imagine it would be just because this one's owned by Netflix. I just have this feeling that they try to do
The corporate tendrils have come in.
They would. They would. Of course they would.
Yeah. But it's really good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
In a world of podcasts, only 3 men are willing.
Well, dude, what are you doing, James?
You told me to do the promo for the podcast, right? That's what we're doing.
But I mean, we could actually tell people about what we are. I mean, we're the Famicast. We're a bi-weekly show. We talk about Nintendo and games in Japan. I'm Danny, and that was James, and we got another guy. Who are you again?
I'm the saboteur. I'm the henchman. I'm the interloper.
That's Ty. He is our anime trash expert. Digs around in some UFO catchers for. Check us out.
We're in Japan. We like Nintendo most of the time.
The Famicast, only on the Tokyo Beat Network.
And now it's time for our main topic.
Main
and
topic.
it is, of course, Bitsummit.
Bitsummit, Dick Summit, Shit Summit,
Bitsummit.
Bitch Summit. Yeah, dude. Bitsummit 2023, possibly the best summit. Okay, hold on. Before we start, Kinsey Burke, why don't you explain what Bitsummit is and why we're talking about it and why it's important to people out there who've never even been to Japan?
Bitsummit is the premier Kyoto
All right.
indie game expo.
Sure.
And it's all centered on indie games, even though there are big players there like Nintendo and Sony. They all have a booth, but they're all showing indie games on their platforms.
Sort of. Not entirely. But yeah, I'll go with that. Think PAX, any expo, con back home, except this is less of the con and more of the X.
Yeah.
Like there's not like people keep saying convention. Like, man, there's
It's not really a
no one's
convention.
convening.
Yeah.
Like there's not really any of those elements. But this is the I believe the 11th year that they've been doing the event. It started off in a very, very really small like shed, Q Games and a couple of other companies.
Shed.
Basically, I think it was like 100 people that went to it. 11 years ago, Q Games and a few other studios started this thing, and from year one, it went from 100 visitors to now there was 27,000 all in, like for the across the 3 days. It's probably far fewer than that because I know they were double clicking on people's that were entering. But supposedly 27,000 people walked through the doors. This is now my 8th Bitsummit. I feel pretty lucky. I actually moved to Japan because of Bitsummit. Kinsey, what about you? Like, at least is your 3rd?
Technically.
legally
Yeah.
speaking, because you joined with Bitsummit Gaiden, which was their online only. You did some live streaming for them, and then you weren't at the one 2 years ago, but you were at the one last year. So yeah,
Bitsummit's great. Like it I feel like it's a show that's just big enough because like it's not so small that it feels like small.
Sure.
But it does have that like paxy like show floor feel, and the games that are shown there are so cool. They're from all around the world, a lot from Japan,
of course.
but I just like that it's all indie, and there is a decent amount of the like alt control cool things too.
Yeah, I think there was one official alt control game. I think there was there was a relationship with actually alt control.
Oh, cool.
So there's that historical reason why, you know, like Robin Baumgarten from Alt Control. I think he started not at Bitsummit but near Bitsummit. You know?
Bitsummit adjacent.
Well, he definitely brought. I forget the one. He made a 1-bit game. Let's not get back into that the historical shit. Anyway, yeah. So people come from all around the world, like you said, and not only do they come to show their game to festival or expo goers, but they also there are things that happen in the evening, and that's a big focus for people to come to Bitsummit. Basically, everyone goes to the river, and the Kamagawa River here in Kyoto, after everything's done, and they get super fucking loaded until 6 in the morning. Imagine 500 people all down at the river, at this small river, stream of a place. And we basically overwhelm the local Lawson convenience store and buy out the booze for days.
Yeah, there were some really good evening events this year. It was really fun.
Yeah. Not to go into those because some of those are private and you'll never fucking go. But you are invited to the river though, so you should fucking come. It's not just drinking. I don't want to make it sound all like it's just a booze fest. It is though, but it's also like this fantastic way to network with people that are really driven by Japan and Japanese gaming. People want to come to Bitsummit. Sure, it's an expo. Everybody likes to go to an expo, but it's an expo in Kyoto, Japan. You know, the ancient fucking video game capital of the world.
Yeah.
You know, like
Nintendo's backyard.
Nintendo's yard.
Yeah.
You know, fucking not backyard. This is Nintendo's yard, bro. So like, it's really important. It's like, it's almost like, what do they call like a pilgrimage? You know, in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
So-
Bitsummit was on my list of like expos I must go to kind of thing.
Sure.
Like I really, really wanted to come, and that's why I was really excited when I was invited to the online one. I was like, oh, I'm sort of a part of it, you know.
Right.
This is one of my bucket lists, like video game shows.
When I sent an email to John Davis saying, "Hey, invite Kinsey Berg," and he's like, "Sure, I don't care," you know. No, but he's super grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Do you know? Do you have a story or something of how you'd heard about Bitsummit, or do you know someone that went?
It was mostly, I think, just Twitter is how I like people talking about it, and like I followed a lot of people who like lived and worked in Japan just
Right.
because I like Japan, and like people going to Bitsummit, and I slowly like heard about it through that. Whenever it would happen, my whole like Japan side of Twitter would be like, Bitsummit, pictures of games, pictures of this.
Anybody in
pictures of this.
particular?
And,
I
like-
want to know the legacy of this. Because the reason I ask, and like this, viewers, help me out here too. Like, how did you find out? Because how do we make it grow? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If you could figure that out, that would be fucking helpful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Because that's how I found out about it was Twitter.
But I mean, do you know what it was?
I think it was just the buzz around it every year.
But like back then, you weren't like in our crew.
No, it was
So-
just like random people
Ooh.
I would find on Twitter to be like, oh, okay. Like they live in Japan. They work in games in Japan. They do this in Japan. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Right.
Or like a couple of my, who was it who went to Bitsummit? I think it was the Devolver crew who were like, hey, like
Right.
they're like, oh, you like Japan? You should go to Bitsummit. So just kind of like
Right.
different ways through the grapevine via real life or Twitter.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Well, you should go to Bitsummit. You shouldn't go every year you should go once every other year. You know what I mean? Change it up. Go somewhere else too. No. So tell us about what did we do?
Mm-hmm.
What did we do while we were there? And like what did we see? All this stuff. What did we do?
So we were there on the ground filming for Chuhai Labs. That video is out right now. Check it out on our Twitter and on our things.
Yeah.
You can like just watch it right now over the top of us probably.
Yeah.
And of course, we also got to see some really awesome games.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to see a shitload of games. So we were on the floor, like interviewing people, and like if you've seen our videos before, we do like really low key interviews, and their interviews, they're not exactly interviews. They're more
Interviews.
They're more like, hey
Quotes.
man, can you say the word dick? And then we crash zoom on their face as they say the word dick. For example, your friend JR from Devolver says, Devolver more like D's nuts.
No, devolve these nuts.
Devolve D's nuts.
Yeah.
Like we just get hella silly. But also we're wearing official Chuhai Labs brand Bitsummit sunglasses that we made for the event. They're pretty cute, right? Pretty cute. And last year we live streamed the entire event. But this year we got to kind of branch out and actually go check some shit out. Let's talk about some standout games that you saw at this year's Bitsummit.
Okay, so I made a little list. No order.
Okay.
First is Laser Dance. It was an AR game that I liked watching people play because it was basically like a puzzly game where they're going around a room, which is basically their booth.
Yes.
And like pushing buttons and stuff, but you have to avoid the lasers while you're going through. Think of it like Mission Impossible red lasers stealing the gem lasers, But we're all from the outside, can't see the lasers. And so they're all like stepping weird, or like in one point they have to like crawl on the ground.
Yeah.
So I had a really good time watching people play.
It's like it's an AR mixed reality game, and I think it maps out your room.
Yeah. I think
it
does,
maps out like you map out the room, and based on that map, it kind of makes obstacles along the way. Because you couldn't just turn it on and then it would work, because that would be weird. Maybe walk through a door or something like that. And because it's mixed reality, like you can see through the AR glasses as well, which is really, really neat. It seems like a very good use of mixed reality.
Yeah, it's like a kind of a simple idea, but like really well executed. So
I think when that comes to simple ideas, like, aren't those the best games? Like,
Yeah.
almost always. Like, the simpler they are, means you can maximize the fun. And, and like you said, watching people play this is really ridiculous because they're all looking stupid as hell.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was cool. And also Make Friends, which is the mannequin head game that was at the show.
You say that like we know what the mannequin
like
head game
duh,
is.
don't
Yeah.
you know? But so basically, there was a game where they were using an actual mannequin head as the controller. And the whole game is like, you need to get in a certain order the eyes, the nose, and the mouth.
Yeah.
But they're like coming at you. It's almost like WarioWare style. And so you move the head to like, oh, eyes, catch the nose, catch the mouth. And then it makes the character looking all stupid because that's the way it works. And then they'll go in your little audience and like walk around and cheer you on and dance. And then you'll get like a whole crowd of them.
Right. yeah. Super cute. That's one of the alternative controller games that were on site. Like, super, super cute. I think there was another one at the Nintendo booth.
That was the toilet paper roll.
Yeah,
one.
the toilet paper roll game was a brilliant use.
Yeah,
it was the first alt control game that I've seen that we can all play.
Yeah, because normally, it's like the mannequin head, something you don't have at home. But this one is genius. Like, you take a roll of toilet paper and you put the Joy-Con inside of it.
Right.
And then you put the toilet paper on like a piece of wood or cardboard, whatever, and then you just roll it back and forth between your hands.
And it uses the gyro to tell where the toilet paper roll is.
It's genius.
It is absolutely genius.
Yeah.
What else did you see?
From our friends at Devolver, they were showing both Pepper Grinder and Gumbrella, which both look amazing to me. And so I was standing there watching people play Pepper Grinder, because I had some friends who really wanted to try it. And that game is just so satisfying to watch people play.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And if you haven't seen it, definitely look up videos on it, because it's basically like you have like a drill and you can go like into the ground and then jump out and then go into the ground on the other side and go through it, and like something about it is very satisfying.
Sweet. Yeah. And like you said, Gumbrella, we've talked about the Gumbrella probably 4 or 5 times on the show. It still looks great. I don't know. The Devolver booth itself was actually really interesting. Since we're talking about Devolver,
awesome.
Devolver has a good history of making a theme for their booth. Like for the PAXs, they make a movie theater, like an old for
like an arcade.
Like an arcade, or like the last one was like a straight up movie theater. It was just fucking gorgeous. And this one they did, the theme was like set with 7-Eleven, and they had a Japanese 7-Eleven, and they had all of the employees wear a Devolver shirt that looked like the 7-Eleven shirt, and good Lord, was it cute.
Yeah, their booth looked so cute.
Yeah, and I also like that, I think it's the first time in a while that they sent the main Devolver staff over, so that was nice to get to see them again.
Yeah.
I'm sure, especially for you, because you have a long lasting relationship with them.
Yeah, it was great to see all of them. Like, it's nice when you have a convention that's in like the town where you live.
Sure.
Because then like everyone comes to you, and you get to sleep in your own bed.
It's the best. Yeah.
It was like what PAX West was for me when I lived in Seattle.
Sure. Yeah, because it sucks waking up in Boston and like laying on the shower floor being like, please, I just want to live one more fucking day. I'm dying. I'm fucking dying.
I'd rather die in my own shower, thank you.
Yeah, because it's mine, Like instead, like Liam Edwards could hear me puking in the other room or something like that. Like just get out the devil. You know what I mean? Let's talk about some announcements that happened over at Bitsummit.
Yeah, you wouldn't normally think of Bitsummit as a place where announcements happen, but they do. Yay! And this one I'm especially excited about because I really liked Patapon on the PSP.
Right.
Both of them, Patapon 1 and 2. What a cute, like, beautiful art style, really fun rhythm game. I loved it.
Luckily, this thing you're going to talk about has nothing to do with Patapon. All right, so you really buried the lead on that.
I was setting the stage.
Setting the stage.
I was setting the stage.
Yeah.
And I'm going to butcher how you say it. Because so Ratatan?
So if one is called Patapon, wouldn't you guess that it's like Rataton?
Rataton?
I would.
Sure.
Ratatan.
Ratatan, the spiritual successor to Patapon, which was teased over a year ago as Project Jabberwocky, good name, was officially announced at BitSummit. The game will begin as a Kickstarter that starts on July 29th. Oh, so it's going right now.
Right now.
It just started.
Give
it
him
just
money.
started.
Kinsey.
Let me throw my yens at you. It was also teased that it would include multiplayer with Tokyo Virtual Theory's motto, "Let's play more together," which obviously means it's going to be multiplayer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sure. So I'm excited because I really liked Patapon. I think it is a hidden gem of the PSP, and more people should play it.
Great. And was this playable at the?
I don't know.
How'd they announce it? Like announcing. All right.
Did I see it there? Because I saw the articles on the announcement after the show, and I was kind of kicking myself because I was like, wait, was it there? Even like a video?
It probably was.
It probably was, and I'm just a big dummy.
Big dumbass. All right, so what other, maybe there's some smaller announcements from our friends over in Osaka.
Yeah.
Maybe from Dongan Entertainment.
So Dongan Entertainment showed off 3 new titles at BitSummit. Road Out, a post-apocalyptic dungeon crawler / racing game. I kind of like that smash of genres.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not?
And then they also announced Umami Grove, which is a VR cooking game. And lastly, Pry Into the Void, a Shin Megami Tensei-inspired monster collecting game.
Road Out sounds great. The rest sound like games that people like that I don't.
I'm a big Shin Megami Tensei fan, so...
What's your favorite Shin Megami Tensei?
Probably between... Of the spin-off games, probably Persona 3 or Devil's Survivor, because I really like the conversation. I mean, a lot of them have the conversation system, but like I like the monster collecting aspect.
You and like befriending them.
I like talking to them, and some of them are dicks. It's great, and I like Persona 2 is good. Man, a lot of the Shin Megami Tensei games are good.
But Persona games are mad easy compared to the SMT games, like.
Parts of it, yeah.
Persona games are just like press A until it wins, and then Shin Megami Tensei is like, nah, like give fucks. You know?
And I like that the Devil Survivor games are like also like tacticsy.
Sure, yeah.
So it's fun. It's fun stuff.
Well, which is it based on? Which one do you know?
I don't know.
One of the good ones.
The
Okay,
article
okay.
said Shin Megami Tensei inspired, so I'm imagining mainline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would have said Persona.
Yeah. Persona is probably more well known than Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh,
so-
most certainly
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Even though it's very small on the logo.
What is?
Very small. Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh, then it says Persona.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
At least on the older ones. They might have gotten rid of it for the last one because that
Sure.
one was like, Persona! Bang!
Right. I don't like dating games, so I hope it's not a dating game. Great.
I like dating games.
So I still hope it's not a dating game. Yes.
And next up, we have Play This Shit with our amazing Discord mod, Dan Gorman.
Sup?
So,
Hey, it's your trusty Chew High Labs Discord mod again. Dan here telling you to play this shit. A long time ago, there was a game called Puzzle Pirates. It was really cool. It took PopCap-esque puzzles and fused them onto an MMO. The creators of this often forgotten game are back with Puzzle Wizards, and this time it's wizards instead of pirates. The gameplay, it's a lot more simplified than before. It's almost entirely some kind of a match game, whereas before you were working together, piloting ships and doing tons of very in-depth stuff. Here, it's grinding for materials, solving lightly puzzle-based dungeons in a kind of simplified raid with your friends, and maybe it's a little bit more repetitive. But that said, it's cozy as hell. I think there's a ton of potential here. It's early on, but I will warn you that if you are not a fan of match games, not a fan of Candy Crush, this isn't going to have that much more for you. You will be doing a lot of grinding, but if you like to zone out and play that kind of game and you want a little bit of an MMO, you can play with your friends. On top of that, there's some Animal Crossing style management in your home base area. You can kind of, give gifts to the little creatures that you are helping out in your home base, that kind of thing. I think you'll like this if you like match games, but again, you're doing a lot of grinding. But it's really fun, really cozy, really cute. I'm really enjoying it. And so play Puzzle Wizards. And as always, join the Chew High Labs Discord. And remember to play good games. I'm Dan. See you later. Bye.
and now it's time for the news!
The news.
The news this week is silly, and I am here for it.
Okay, hit it.
All right. So JR East, train company in Japan,
Yep.
is known for its many trains throughout eastern Japan, including the famous Yamanote line in Tokyo. That's the circle line that goes all throughout main Tokyo.
I don't know why it's famous for that.
It's
just
famous.
like a
It's
train.
famous.
Is like, okay, but continue.
Last year, they released a game on Steam called JR East Train Simulator, to much success. To help further the simulation, JR East is now taking pre-orders, at least as of this recording, for the Train Driver Starter Kit. It starts at 16,500 yen, approximately $120 and comes with the signature white gloves, timetable replicas with the little protective sleeves, so that way they put it like next to the thing, a driver's logbook, and a seat cushion made from the same fabric as the one the actual drivers of the E233 series train use. For the train otaku in your family, get that. It's so expensive.
That's the slogan. Get that. Yeah, it's fucking sick.
I think it's funny because the game's been out like a year.
Okay.
And like, I don't think it doesn't come with the game. It's just the kit. Because if someone's going to want this train driver starter kit, they already own this game.
Right.
So it's $120. And
For
it's
some crap. But I
like it.
People like collecting crap, and this is crap. And
you can have a seat cushion. You can sit in your chair with the seat
And put
cushion,
your gloves
and then
on
you
and
put
do
your
that.
gloves on.
You know that thing when the train's driving by and they point at the sign and
Yeah.
they point at the sign? You can do that. You can, that sounds fucking horrible. And he's the walkie-talkie where he can be like, no, you don't know that, like God, it sounds fucking absolutely horrible. But I like this. I like that it exists.
Yeah.
It does sound horrible, but it's sweet. All right, what else you got?
Okay, so we've talked a lot about live action game adaptations
Yes.
on this show.
Yeah, such as
Such as The Witcher, such as all the other movies, and like the Last of Us TV show. We've talked about them all.
Oh, okay.
So here's another one.
yes.
Lionsgate Films announced at San Diego Comic-Con, which just happened just a few weeks ago, that the new Borderlands movie will hit theaters on August 9th, 2024. It's being written and directed by Eli Roth, who is closely associated with the horror genre, being known for directing Cabin Fever and Hostel.
Isn't he also one of the other like schlock directors that does a lot of the game stuff? And like,
Probably.
I believe Eli Roth. I mean, he's the Bear Jew in what's it called? In the Nazi movie Nazis. That's all I know him from. I don't like Cabin Fever. And Cabin Fever's okay, actually. I don't like Hostel very much. He is absurd. So I don't know how I feel about this.
I mean, Borderlands is pretty absurd. It's like very tongue-in-cheek.
Oh, I love
kind of
Borderlands.
Silly. Yeah,
I love
Borderlands
Yeah,
is
for
a great
sure.
IP.
Do we know any of the actors or actresses? Or
Probably.
Hopefully, like somebody like Nathan Fillion would be great. You know,
someone like that.
Tongue-in-cheek kind of actor would be fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, tongue-in-cheek, over the top, all of that would be awesome. Because like Borderlands has some really cool like story and lore to it. So
Right.
bringing that to life would be really awesome. Like even the Tales from the Borderlands games from Telltale.
Yeah.
They were really fun. And they had like really quirky stories and like the games are great. So like I can see this possibly going to the big screen really well and really fun.
Yeah.
If
for
they
sure.
do it in that way that you're saying, like really like
Fun
tongue in cheek,
and silly.
Nathan Fillion style.
Yeah,
like,
a little hyper violent, but also, you know, the whole game is when you die, you return, and they're like, there's that really good loop to it.
Yeah.
And, so maybe if they somehow incorporate that, I think he could do it. He's the Bear Jew in Inglourious Bastards.
Oh.
He's the one who comes out and bashes the brains out of the. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Yes.
Where he just bashes. So like it's so disgusting. It's like the worst scene in the whole movie.
but that's that guy.
That's him, and that's the director, and he was actually cast in that movie because he makes such gory things that Quentin Tarantino wanted him to play the gory character. So
that's cool.
That's cool, but also I hope nothing like that is in this. I want the game to be or the movie to be silly and a little less on the hyper gore.
And I'm sure there's like trailers and stuff out. Maybe, I guess August 2024. That's a whole year away. But I personally haven't seen any trailers, but I'm really
Sure.
hoping that they do the like, can you have a Borderlands movie without the like weird shell shadiness? Like, even if it's
I
real
don't
life?
think you
like,
can,
You got to
man.
have it
Like-
like kind of comic booky, right? You got
At least the backgrounds, at least
Yeah.
like maybe not the person's face, maybe.
Maybe, but have you seen like the Borderlands cosplays where they have like all the like outlines and lines on their face
like-
where they
like
look really cool?
High contrast makeup or
Yeah,
something.
and
No,
like
no, I
some of
haven't seen
them look super good. So I think
Makes
it's
sense.
possible, but it would be maybe kind of a nightmare for like lighting and stuff to keep all those things looking good, you know, from different angles. I'm sure that would be hard.
But that is his job
Yeah.
to do. Lionsgate is not always known for the greatest movies,
Mm-hmm.
so we will see. I hope. I hope it's good, just because I want the series to continue on. But
Yeah.
if it's not good, I kind of expect it.
Yeah.
So
I feel like video game movies are so weird because they're like never the best movies.
right.
So I don't know. I do always like to go see them. I don't know. Sonic was fun. Mario was fun. Mario was actually maybe one of the better ones. Oh, I did like Silent Hill though. I like the first Silent Hill movie.
I like Mortal Kombat. That's
The
kick-ass-
90s one?
Fuck yeah. That
Yeah.
movie fucking kicks ass. It's like
I-
the only video game movie that absolutely rips.
I rented that movie when I was a kid when it came out on like VHS or
Yeah.
whatever, and I watched it like over and over for a weekend. I loved it.
It's a great fucking movie, dude. It's so good. Like Sonya, dude. Sonya Blade. She's sick, dude. Jax is just like in the background with his glasses for no reason. They just threw in every character, but it wasn't tacky like the second one, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, one of the worst movies ever fucking made. Anyway, Eli Roth, good luck. I wish you the best of luck on this. Please make something good.
Please.
Please.
Now it's time for Call Me Up, where we answer your questions from Discord. If you ever want to ask us a question, go to discord.gg
Just go wherever
slash
you want.
ChuHai
Just
Lab.
literally go anywhere you
Go
want.
anywhere you want and
Go to
ask a question.
Google.com and ask a question. No, go to discord.gg slash ChuHai Labs.
Scroll down to the Call Me Up section.
Click that
Click
section.
that.
And then what?
And then type it in, and then we'll answer it probably.
Assuming you have an account name and all those other things, you have to do all that.
Also,
Please.
join our Discord.
Yeah, come
Even
on
if you
now.
don't ask us a question, it's a fun place to be.
I would too. So the first question comes from Cupcake. What's up, Cupcake? Cupcake says, Curse to Golf was released on a lot of platforms and is coming up on its 1-year anniversary. What platform was the most bang for your buck on release? To release on? Oh, he's asking how much money.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's none of your damn business.
The way I read this the first time, actually, which is the way I'm going to answer it,
yeah.
is what's the best bang for your buck as a player?
I mean, they're all this. Okay,
I mean,
that's not.
I would say, as the player, Steam is the best bang for your buck because that's the one that's it has way less hoops to jump through to release any patches for. So you're usually going to get the first
player
of the
doesn't
things.
care.
But if you want a patch for something,
Okay,
or
so I'm
like
gonna
new
go with
updates,
I'm gonna go with the opposite.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say bang for your. This is an opinion, but like it performs the best on any. It performs great on any platform. Actually, like equally great. But I think it's a Switch game. I think
it does feel like a Switch
game.
game.
It looks like a Switch
Yeah.
game. It's great to play on the go. And like, there's not many Switch games where I feel like I could be on the subway and play, and then put it away after a hole. You know, like a lot of games, you're like in a section. You're like,
Yeah.
Like this game, you'll never feel like that. But if you're talking about which one did we win on, probably also Switch.
Yeah, actually, probably also
Yeah,
Switch.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that's a tough one.
But I guess as far as the best bang for your buck as a player, does the Steam Deck change that a little bit?
Nah, because that
then
thing's
you can
super
play-
expensive and it's hot.
It's
and,
heavy. It's big.
And nobody, like, not many people own them, and it's not like the game is a better experience. I don't think it is. If you're talking bang for your buck of when updates come, we don't update it like that.
Not that often.
That is fairly infrequent. You know, like we're trying to get the most important thing, so we try to get them out across the board. Mm-hmm. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Kinsey and I are going to argue about this off camera. Okay, Kinsey, what's the next question?
Next question is from Alex Kind of Cares, and got 2 questions.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite video/podcast that you two have made in the past year since Kinsey has moved to Japan?
Video
Like, what's our favorite episode that we recorded?
or video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think TGS, our TGS video, both of them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay, we shared something in common. We're not going to argue off camera now.
The TGS podcast where we're sitting in that park.
Yeah, sure.
And like those ladies come up to us, like it was so fun. That was a good episode.
That was super, super cute, and it was a great day. It's also nice to change things up. Like of course we've got a great bar, but it's fun to get out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, the episode we recorded on the Kamogawa was also really great.
Yeah. I wanted to do that today, but I also have too much shit. We will do that next week.
It's also very hot.
It's very fucking hot.
Very
all right,
hot
player?
outside.
And I'm sure both of the episodes we've had Ian Ferguson on have both been really great.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Like, he was a really charming guest. I think most of our guests have been like absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
But
Any
we
of
get
our
along
guests,
with him. You
yeah.
know? So
Any of our guest episodes, I think, were all like really fun, just because they're a little bit different.
they're a little bit different, and also he's boozing while like he's boozing and smoking herb while he's on the show. So he's in the zone. So like he's on our level.
Oh, that was a fun episode because we did that Thanksgiving episode where we ended up only talking about food.
Ah, that's right.
And it was really great.
Hey, Alex kind of cares. Thank you for asking.
That's a good question.
What's his
And-
other question?
Speaking of food,
Okay.
what's your favorite garbage American food for summer barbecues?
Okay. You've seen this question, so you've probably had a think on it.
Yes. If I
I want to know what we define as a garbage food.
I would say like because nothing like a really good rack of ribs or something like that.
Obviously,
like
that's not a garbage
Like I would
food.
just think like side dishes.
Side dishes?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's not on the grill. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to think about it. Unless you think a garbage American food for summer barbecues is just like hot dogs.
I mean, I like dogs.
I like dogs too.
I like dogs a lot. Like, yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Like a Chicago dog all day, man. Like that's the great a bratwurst all day, son. Give me that shit. But I don't think that's garbage.
No, I was thinking like my favorite, I guess, garbage like food. I don't know why I instantly thought side dish, but
Sure.
I did. Would be like macaroni salad or something.
That's garbage.
Because I love macaroni
And I
salad.
don't love it.
Give me
I do consider-
mayonnaise salad.
Yeah, okay. This is garbage to me. These things are this family of stuff is
My
garbage.
first
Yeah,
thought
like
was
potato salad's
macaroni.
garbage. I like potato salad. It's pretty garbage though.
I love potato salad.
Fuck that is. I don't. Yeah, the side dishes are usually garbage when like some mom brings a like a big thing of Tupperware, but it's in the worst Tupperware because she's like she might not get it back. You know?
Yeah.
What I mean? That whatever's in that Tupperware, it could be Jell-O. It could
Jell-O.
It could be a Jell-O pie or whatever. Not pie. Jell-O like
Salad.
thing. Ugh.
Or ambrosia salad. My mom used to make ambrosia salad all the time. And when I was little, I kind of liked it. But thinking back, I really, because that's like the chopped up fruit
I know what
with
it
like
is.
Cool Whip. I really just
Fucking
ate like
gross.
the apples out of it. I didn't really eat anything else.
Fucking gross, dude. It's
Maybe marshmallows,
stop it.
which is like
don't want-
wild. But no.
That's
Pasta
so
salad.
gross.
Macaroni salad. That's my favorite garbage.
Yeah, mine's gonna
Yeah.
be potato salad. But I also make a really good one. But most people don't make a good one because they don't want to. Why would you?
I
right?
really like potato salad in Japan. A lot of times they'd put that like poached egg or whatever on top. Oh, it's good.
I like that too. I wouldn't consider that's like a Japanese thing.
Yeah.
At this, like it's pretty different compared to the ones back home. I like all of them though. Potato salad.
Macaroni and cheese.
I mean macaroni and cheese, but you're talking about macaroni and cheese like pasta salad.
Yeah, I was
right? That's
originally I was talking about pasta
That's
salad.
gross.
Like,
That's fucking gross.
Yeah.
But so is potato salad. It's gross. And also deviled eggs. That's fucking gross.
Deviled eggs.
But they're a garbage food, and I like them.
Yeah,
They
they're
are
good.
gross though. They're fucking gross.
Good question.
Very good question. We're gonna argue now after this.
So be sure to ask your questions and then call me up, and we'll answer them on the show.
Booyah.
And that's all the time we have for today's show. Thank you so much for listening / watching / however you consume your Nasty Labs. As always.
That was a good recovery there. You're like, where am I now? As always, what can we do? As always,
Carve Snowboarding is out right now on the Oculus Quest. Halloween Forever is out right now on the Nintendo Switch eShop. And you can buy Curse to Golf on pretty much every platform.
can you buy it on the iWatch?
I was like, is there a way to do it?
Is that what it's called? Is it called an iWatch?
It's an Apple Watch.
Whatever. So you can't. So it's not on all platforms, and we don't want it.
Pretty
on there.
much all platforms.
I know.
Pretty much.
Hey, I was just confirming that it was pretty much.
Coming to an Ouya near you.
That's right, baby.
And you can also buy our merch at theyeti.com/ChewHighLabs. And you can find Chew High Labs on all the social medias at Chew High Labs.
Yeah, and speaking of Yeti merch, I'm going to need you, okay, if you're listening, I'm going to need you to go and get our mug, our Nasty Labs mug. It's got our face on it. Faces.
Look how
It's
cute
also
it
got
is.
also got our logo, which we stole from Mega Man. On it, you're going to need to go and purchase it and then post photos on Twitter and tag at Giles and be like, yo, bitch, look, I got this, all right? You know what I mean?
That's how you become legally the best.
That is, right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
And Mark, where can people find you on the internet?
You can only find me at twitter.com/thehenrydemos. Kinsey Bork, where can people find you?
You can find me at Kinzilla, Kinszilla, on pretty much all the things. And go follow Chew High Labs. Go buy our merch. Go do the things. And as always, thanks to the Tokyo Beat Network, thank you all for listening. You are legally the best. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.